So, what happens when you get too big for men's physique? Well, for me, I'm like, why did you get too big in the first place? And I think people are confusing making improvements, getting better with getting bigger, and when there's no cap for getting bigger, you're going to get as big as possible, you know? And a lot of guys aren't going to want to hear this because a lot of the bigger guys, because their size gives them the advantage over other competitors, especially on the NPC level, where size is rewarded. But if you don't have the look that at the pro level that they want, then you're going to be stuck, and the men's physique at the pro level has a consistency problem. It always has. Well, not in the beginning. They had a look. They had the smaller streamline look, but as people want to say, oh, well, the division has grown. Well, it's grown away from the look that it was intended to have. You know, like Classic 212, they have a consistent look because of the weight restriction. People don't like hearing that word weight restriction because again, they give up that you'll have bodybuilders winning their pro cards and going on to do winning their pro cards in men's physique and going on to not do shit as pros. And now that the IFBB is cutting back on that, it's like what do you do? It's too late. They've been training you know as men's physique guys for so long that they can't move to classic because they're just not gonna fit. So I already know, like, when you start MP and when you turn pro as a um men's physique, like you have like a limit to make a name for yourself, to be successful. Like, I'm just an amateur looking outside looking in, but like if you don't get hot and start placing high early, someone's gonna take your spot. Like that's just, I mean, look at the past, Olympias. Like once you start slipping and placing, it's not like bodybuilding where you can grind it out for years and years and years and improve your placing and then become Mr. Olympia. If you're not Mr. Olympia within like your first 3 years as a pro and men's physique, you're not gonna be it. Like that's just the way I go off, you know, precedents and the information that I have, and that's the way it's always been, you know. So again, what do you do when you don't look that the part of of what the standard is supposed to be? And that's the thing. Like if there's no if there's no weight limit, then you're gonna be as big as you can be. So it's not like boxing or MMA where you can just switch weight classes and be successful. Like classic has a certain look, what I mean. 212 has a certain look. So if you've been men's physique all this time, you might as well just stay men's physique. Because Sadiq tried it, Potvin thought about it, Logan. I mean, you might win your shows here and there, but what's the ultimate, goal of any IFBB pro? That's to be the Mr. Olympia. That's to be the best. But you're not gonna do that coming from MP. Like IFBB, when have they ever rewarded that? Division jumpers. They never have. So they need to put in the weight class so they can reel in the consistency, the look. Because one national show, you'll have a guy that's a 200-pound short guy winning in men's physique, and another national show, you'll have like 150, 160-pound guy. Those guys are going to meet as pros, on a pro stage. And it's like, what look are you going to go with when one guy has a 40-pound advantage over another? Like that's insane to me when you really think about it. And again, a lot of the bigger guys don't want to hear this because when you have 30 pounds on the guy next to you, you're gonna stand out. So put those weight claps in place, you know. And I don't know if it'll probably encourage people to go to the division that they belong, you know, because not everybody should be in men's physique. You know, I mean, I've competed with guys that they they men's physique. We all know that's a great entry level into competing. You know what I mean? But sometimes it's like you know, you got guys that aren't quite good enough for classic, so they'll do men's physique, and you know they'll do well at the amateur level, but I mean they're DOA and at the pro level, like they're not gonna do shit at pro level, you know. And this is just me outside, you know. Like I said, I'm this is my opinion, you know. I could be wrong, whatever, you know. I'm just throwing it out there, you know. So put the weight limit in place, so there is no room for questioning. There's no, you know, what if it, like, everyone has that consistent look. You don't have guys that look like bodybuilders, you know, that are just lost. You know what I mean? Like they're just shuffled around. You know what I mean? Everyone has the same build, the same look. You know, it's consistent. You know, if they'll ever do that, I don't know. But you know, with Banks, with him being the standard now, everyone's all in their feelings about the shit because he don't look like anybody that's up there currently. You know, he's got no legs, he's got no arms, and a lot of guys are very arm dominant, and they've been hitting legs the last couple of years because they've seen everybody else do it. Now, nothing wrong with hitting legs, but if they get too big, they get too, you know, that's not the look for classic. You look like a small bodybuilder. You know what I mean? So lay off the arms and legs. It's fucked up, but it's a back contest. It's back, chest, abs, shoulder contest. You know, as long as you got that, you'll be fine. But once you start getting, because even Brandon was starting to look like he's got a good overall physique, but he looks like a small bodybuilder. You know, and that's not what the division was supposed to be. Guys like Chiron that are switching divisions, which, you know, that they've outgrown. It sucks, but they've probably outgrown men's physique, you know, because people say, you know, like I said earlier, you know, they say like the vision has grown, it's evolved or whatever, but that doesn't mean it's a good thing. You know, I mean, that's not necessarily a good thing. It's grown away from the intended look it was supposed to, you know, have, which was an attainable look, you know, the beach body. And, you know, Banks looks like a big old beach body guy. You know, Brandon looks like a small bodybuilder. Like, you just got to accept that. That's just what it is, you know. So, again, I think weight classes will solve that problem literally overnight. Compete where you're supposed to be. It'll separate everybody where they need to go. It'll direct them to what class they need to go. If they need to lose weight, then it is what it is. If they need to, you know, go up, you know, that's what you got to do, you know. But that's just my opinion, you know. I could be wrong, you know. Feel free to disagree amongst yourself, you know.